Hey everybody, Rob Cootie here. It is Monday, October 26th, and it is currently 10:58 a.m. in the morning. As you know, Maria and I always go live at 11 a.m. Monday through Friday, and we will be going live today at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you will, please share our various social media platforms by utilizing the hashtag #TheMLMSolution. That's hashtag #TheMLMSolution. You can see it at the bottom of the screen and the ticker for all of you on the podcast or SoundCloud. Once again, hashtag #TheMLMSolution. Please share this with our fellow network marketers across the world so they can have access to this same wonderful, life-changing information. That being said, we'll see you very shortly at 11 a.m. Thank you.
Welcome to the MLM Solution Podcast Show, where you'll learn the facts and hear the truth about the network marketing industry. Here's your host, Rob Cootie.
Hello, Miss Marie. How are you today?
Good morning, Rob. I am doing well. Happy Monday to you. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Happy Monday to you as well. There it is, guys. 11 a.m. in 15 seconds, Eastern Standard Time, October 26th. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Miss Marie, did you have a good weekend?
I did. It was an exceptionally good weekend, but hey, I'm excited to get the week off to a start here. Got a lot of exciting things coming up, especially some of the topics we have planned. So I'm excited.
Yes, me too. As always, I enjoy our shows. I look forward to doing them. And it's obvious by the numbers, people enjoy the content we bring to the table as well, which makes it even more fun to do these shows, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And you know what? The more people we can bring value to, the better.
I agree. Okay, with that being said, guys, we have a good topic today. We have, as you can see in the ticker, podcast number 66, why you do not want to chase prospects. I think everybody understands that for the most part, I guess. But the thing is, Miss Marie, they get desperate and they start chasing people anyway. And then typically the reason that people chase prospects is because their name list that they were encouraged to make out has very few names on it. I remember when I first started, Miss Marie, I made a name list and I made 100 people, okay? And I showed my sponsor, who was very good. I was this is a rarity. My sponsor was good, knew what he was doing, was proactive, supportive, did not coddle me, made me stand up on my own two legs. He was the perfect sponsor for me. But when I showed him the list of 100, he looked at it, handed it back to me, and we didn't even spend a second and a half on it, handed it back to me and said, you need to add 200 more names to that. I was like, what? He said, you need to add 200 more names to it. He said, 100 ain't nothing. And I thought I did a great job. I was like, 100 people that I know that I could call right away. He's like, no, ain't going to happen. Because he was what? He knew the numbers. He knew the numbers. He knew that 100 people, I was going to get no momentum out of that at all. So I was totally flabbergasted, but I did what I was told. And I did come up with 300 people, and it was a great learning experience. And he did not explain to me why. He just told me to do it. And you know what? At that moment, there was more to this, his command, than trying to help me. What he was doing, just like the music to the ears message, Miss Marie, his command of, nope, you need to add 200 more names, was a dividing line. I was either going to do it or was not. And if I didn't do it, he knew who I was. He knew that he could not waste his time on me. He knew that he could not support me the way I needed to be supported. You know why? Because I was not a player. was not willing to do what he knew needed to be done. And I'm going to tell you something. His success spoke volumes. So I didn't question him. Okay. And the funny thing is, this guy worked for me in the real world, but he was one sharp son of a gun. And without going down that road, I had great admiration for him as a person. Okay. And the bottom line is that it was that moment, which unbeknownst to me was a dividing line. And if I didn't step up, think about it, he worked for me. That could have affected our work relationship. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I did not want to be shown up by him. I did not want to say, well, no, I ain't playing to your rules. I did not want my ego to get in the way, because I didn't want him showing me up. Okay. Because he had great admiration for me and what I was able to accomplish as well in the real world. And I did not want to look like a fool in this environment. So as you can tell, that was a very potentially volatile situation. And that's one of the reasons why we tell you guys, build from the outside in, not the inside out. Now, that's one of the things he did wrong. But to be honest with you, I approached him. He never approached me. So I wanted to clarify that. He did not approach me, because he understood build from outside in, not inside out. I'm the one that approached him, because I saw that there was something going on. He was having great success in changing as a person. And I, of course, wanted to know what it was. And we became friends, lifelong friends. We still are in touch to this day. But he took his money without hijacking the show, and he started his own IT company. And then he started his own employment agency, et cetera, et cetera. He sold everything in San Diego and said, I'm getting the hell out of California. There's nothing but a bunch of nuts here. He moved out in the frickin' because we both lived out in California for a number of years. It's not like, anybody wants to say, well, you're about California. I lived there for a long time, almost 10 years. He lived there for 20 something years. Okay. So you can't talk shit to us about California. We know California, but he's
been there, done that.
Exactly. We get it. And he sold everything and moved to Texas, the great state of Texas. I live there too. Great place. I'll take Texas over California any day of the week. All right. With that being said, we have a great show, as I said, podcast number 66, Why You Do Not Want to Chase Prospects. That little personal story is an interlude into what we're talking about here because of this. When you go to chase prospects, you immediately lose your credibility, your posture, and your stance. The moment that you chase them, and I'll identify and clarify what we mean by chase here in a moment, you have ruined, without your knowledge, that relationship, okay? People will run from you, and they'll look at you as a nut, because you cannot take a, how would you say, you cannot take a message. What term is I'm looking for? When people speak without speaking, you know what I'm saying? You can't take a hint. There we go. You can't take a hint. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to spare your feelings. I'm trying not to rail on you, but you're putting me in a position because you're hounding me. You're hunting me down. You're constantly coming at me with this message. I'm on the verge of giving you the double middle finger and telling you where you can go. Leave me alone. Would you not agree with that?
Well, that is part of the struggle. And I would say when it comes to chasing prospects, that's really a network marketing newbie stance that happens with a lot of people because they don't know any better. And they're chasing those prospects because they're viewing every single prospect as a nugget of gold, and they don't want to let it go. Because you're investing one of two things, depending on how you're coming into this industry, how you've been invited, how you're being trained. People come in and they have some money and they may invest in lead generation. And because of that investment, they're going to treat every single prospect like gold. Or they're spending their time because they don't have the money for lead generation. So every person they're contacting, they're treating as, again, a piece of gold. They're not recognizing that the prospecting is actually a sorting process, that we're looking for leaders. Not every person is cut out for a network marketing business, but new people coming in oftentimes don't realize that. So they chase every single person.
Yep. Yep. And also, as I stated earlier, it's because they have a small list. Mm-hmm. I had a small list, and I thought I was doing great with 100 people. That is small. And I imagine that a lot of people right now are going, oh, my gosh, if that's small, what am I going to do? How am I going to build this business? That's all the people I know. And I get that. I've been there. I know exactly what you're saying. But the thing is that with the lead generation systems of today, Miss Marie, and the advent of the internet, there's a lot of great ways to create leads in addition to what you're doing. In other words, making a list, whatever your upline's encouraging you to do, right? Exactly. So with that being said, guys, you have a situation where you're in a much better situation than what Marie and I were in. I can promise you that, because we did not have the technology that you guys have at your fingertips today. And you know what? We were still able to do this business. You can do it too. And Miss Marie and I constantly brag about the online lead generation systems that are available. Some of them will target the network marketing industry. For the most part, lead generation is for any sales environment. So any of those sites are going to work. Okay. Now the question is, when you get these lead generation, like if I go there and I set up an account, can I set my account up to target network marketing people or biz opportunity people? There is a difference between biz opportunity and network marketing people. I'm telling you, if you think they're both the same, they're not. Yes, they can overlap. In other words, if you're a true entrepreneur, you're going to be open to just about any business opportunity. Okay, you haven't made a final decision yet. You're going to keep your mind open. You're going to evaluate things as they come across your desk. But most business opportunity people are pretty open-minded. There are a few, probably 3 or 4 out of 10 that will say, okay, I'm aware of the network marketing industry. That does not appeal to me at all. I am looking for a business opportunity, but I do not want to participate in the network marketing business model. So don't assume that if you're doing the lead generation thing, that the biz opportunity, when you set up your account, is going to fall into this category. And when you contact them, you must be prepared that you may not get a positive response. Okay, so let's just make that clear. All right, but that's part of the process. All right, that is what you're looking for, is a weeding out process. She said it. And I said something last Thursday, Miss Marie. It's absolutely essential to this business. I meant to say it last Thursday, and I got so wrapped up in what we were doing, I forgot. But here, guys, here's the heart and soul. You know, I always use the word, the essence of the business and this and that. Look, here's the heart and soul. This is what network marketing is about when you're building it. Okay, when you're building it, understand that what I'm saying here, when you're using a business building system, this is the heartbeat of network marketing. I don't care what company you're with. And when I say it, you'll understand why I'm saying it. And I can't believe that I haven't brought it up earlier. The heart and soul of network marketing and the message that you must deliver, even using the music to the ears message, which it does, here is what you're selling. And you are selling it. That is what you're doing, regardless. You can say, I'm not a salesperson, all you want. You're using the music to the ears message to deliver a message that will resonate with high quality prospects that are looking for what I'm getting ready to say. You are, in fact, selling yourself, being dressed nice, holding your posture, delivering a message confidently and securely in a way that will resonate with them. Okay, that is all a sales job. If you're dressed with holy clothes and not taking a bath and haven't brushed your teeth in a while, and you walk in and you're slumped over like this, you are projecting an atmosphere of non-confidence. Nobody that's worth their salt is going to believe what you say. I don't care if you say, I've got right here is the key to $1 trillion gold chest. And I don't care if that gold chest sitting right next to you with the lid closed. They're going to look at you and go, yeah, right. You know, there's a snake in that chest. Okay. The bottom line, here it is. It's the dream. That's what you're selling. That's the reason why Amway is where they are today, still the largest, the best, and most profitable, one of the most profitable network marketing companies of all time. Why do they continue to be that multi-billion-dollar international company, does business in 130 or 160 countries? I can't remember which. Why? Because the great job their distributor force does in selling the dream. Not only do they sell it, they show you how to get there. And that's what the 5 simple steps does. Once the music to the ears message resonates with a prospect, you have a direct path to that dream. But here's the thing. When people sit down with you, that is saying your prospects, this is not getting off target. The prospects are telling you, I have a desire to achieve something. And it's one of those 3 things. We talk about it all the time. The thing is, your message, and you have to convey to them that they, in fact, have a legitimate chance through your system, which gives them a direct path to achieve those dreams. Amway does a wonderful job. And I know the other large companies do too, Miss Marie, but that's what it's about, is it not? You have dreams and you see a way, and you have to sell that. Go ahead.
Yep, you're absolutely correct. Well, and the thing I want to tack on there, and this may be the direction you're going, so I apologize if I'm hijacking your thought here. But that music to the ears message is to attract those people who have those types of aspirations, those types of dreams, recognize the fact that this is a vehicle to attain that. But the other thing the music to the ears message does is it repels people who don't care. They may be happy where they are. They're just content with life as it is, can't or don't want to see that type of vision or lifestyle for themselves. Or if they do desire that kind of lifestyle, they don't recognize the opportunity for what it is and don't want to take advantage of it. Therefore, it repels them. And that's where we get into chasing the prospects. We've employed the music to the ears message. It has actually repelled some people, so they're turning away. Yep. But you're thinking every prospect is so valuable that you find yourself chasing them as they're turning away because they're not interested.
There you go. There it is. And I wanted to bring that up because, Miss Marie, it is absolutely essential that people understand you are selling a dream. That's what you're doing. And the music to the ears message and the 5 simple steps are the tools that you use to show them there is a direct path to what you want. And that's what you have to get good at selling to people. Okay. And if you don't like the word selling, I'm sorry, but that's what you're doing. Okay. You cannot show up or do a Zoom meeting dressed half-ass. It's not going to work. Okay. Now, people understand if you didn't have time to put makeup on, if you didn't have time to do your hair, people get that. All right. If you just say, like Miss Marie and I, there's times where we're running a little bit behind to get on this show. And sometimes we don't look our best. You know what? We do the show anyway. Okay. Why? Because you know what? It's about performance, and it's about, what we need. How can I say?
It's delivering the content rather than just having a pretty picture.
That's right. That's right. But you know why you guys overlook it? Because number one, 9 times out of 10, we're prepared. Okay. And the consistency of us being prepared and presentable far outweighs the moments that we're not. Okay. So the bottom line is that you do not want to be in a position where you cannot deliver that message correctly. Now, what does that have to do with chasing prospects? Because of what she just said a moment ago. Look, if you have a short list, you're going to run out of prospects quickly. 100 people is not a lot. And if you're not delivering the message correctly, if you're not selling the dream, okay, and if you don't have a direct path to that dream, then that list of 100 people, you're going to go through them quick and get very few responses. Probably not even sign anybody up for the most part. You may get lucky. The old blind squirrel finding a nut every once in a while, right? You may get lucky and sponsor people. Kudos to you. All right. But that process is not duplicatable. It's not going to duplicate. It's not going to create volume. It'll create some, no doubt, because they're going to sign up, blah, blah, blah. But then the end is at hand because you haven't taught them the right way to do it, which is sell the dream, right? And the bottom line is, Miss Marie, 100 people, you're going to go through them quickly. You're now in a position where you're going to go back to that list of 100 and you're going to say to yourself, well, you know what? Rob showed a little bit of interest and Marie said, maybe let me think about it. And Sally said, get back with me in 2 days. And you go through the list and you start to panic a little bit, finding reasons to follow up with people. Okay. So then you start calling Rob, Marie, and Sally, etc., and you can't get a hold of them. You leave messages and you say, I got to get a hold of them. And you wait a couple of days, you call them again. We went through this scenario, and this happens all the time, doesn't it, Miss Marie? And you push people away. Now, Rob and Marie are not going to answer the calls because you are now becoming a pain in their butt, right?
Well, exactly. And there's there's a fine line. I think a lot of people get confused with chasing prospects being essentially what they're doing and thinking they're being persistent. And I'll give you an example. So early on in my network marketing career, it was typical situation. Put together your list of 100 people, and I ran through them quicker than you can say boo. And, I found myself, well, I'll try some actual lead generation. So I got a list and I started calling through the list. And there was one gentleman I got on the phone. His name was Richard, slick, fast-talking New Yorker. Let me talk for a half a second, essentially. And then he said, hey, look, I'm really interested in what you have to say, but I don't have time right now. Can you call me back at 5 o'clock tomorrow? And I said, sure. And this continued for like several days. He'd push me off like a day or two, call me back at this time, 10 a.m., fine, I'd call him back at that time. And it got to a point after the third time this happened, because I am not the sharpest tool in the shed all the time, I started thinking, boy, is this guy just like yanking my chain, or is he serious, or what's going on here? But I decided I'm just going to stick with it, right? Because I'm persistent. I'm going to keep going. Well, what I was doing was I was chasing to a certain extent, correct?
That's right.
So we finally gotten, I don't know, it could have been 5, 6, 7 times, but it was a whole lot of phone calls I made. And then he was finally like, you know what? I really appreciate your persistence and your punctuality and always getting back to me whenever I called, but I'm not interested in this opportunity. Thanks so much. Goodbye. Click. And I was like, oh, so that was a lesson learned the hard way, right?
Yep.
But the bright side to that story, and don't think this is always going to happen, because I'm sure I did similar things with other people and it didn't turn out nearly as well. This guy actually called me back about 9 months later and he said, hey, I don't know if you remember me. And I was like, oh yes, I remember you. And he was actually so impressed with my persistence and my communication skills over the phone. He actually had an opportunity for me, which actually turned out we were in business together for a while, which turned out to be great. But, that's kind of the, silver lining to that particular story. But I was chasing thinking I was being persistent and professional, but I was chasing. That's
right. That's right. And people may be saying to themselves, well, it paid off in the end for her, but being persistent. No, what it was is that guy evidently was a network marketer too, and was willing to listen to what she was bringing to the table, and decided, and he was looking and decided to go with another company and kept her name, because he was sharp enough to keep her name because he was impressed with her persistence and knew that could be something that he could tap into down the road. Okay. Now, the thing is that her persistence put her in a position where she was slowing down her business and having a hard time creating any kind of momentum and speed and urgency, because she was constantly going backwards, following up with this guy multiple times. Now, the good thing is she loved him and left him each time. She did not blow him off. She did not pretty much tell him to go jump in a lake. When she did realize what was going on, she went ahead and loved him and left him anyway, which left a good impression with him. Here's the thing. She could have done the same thing much earlier. And I'm sure as she gained experience, she realized that. And what happened is, guys, is that she can love him and leave him much earlier. And what you say, well, Rob, what do you mean by that? You say, here's what I'm saying. She could have said, you know what? I think this guy's not interested. That's okay. I need to keep moving forward. And so the next time she gets in touch with him, she says, hey, it's obvious that you're busy or whatever. And you know what? I don't want to keep calling you. I really enjoy talking to you. I think you're a sharp guy. Here, let me leave my information with you so that if you want to ask questions down the road, or if you change your mind, whatever the case may be, here, this way you can get in touch with me. What she did the right thing. It allowed her to move on to someone else. It allowed her to love and leave him, but at the same time left him with a good impression of her, which he had anyway. But she could have cut it off much quicker, making it a much better situation all the way around. Right, Miss Marie?
Oh, absolutely. And you know, we're using this illustration with one particular gentleman that I was dealing with. But, you know, if I was doing it with one person, I was doing it with a lot of other people.
Sure.
And that's what slows down your progress, takes the wind out of your sails, takes that, you know, momentum you get going, and just like slams it into reverse when you're chasing prospects all the time.
I like that. Slam it into there you go. Hear that transmission grinding.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, she's right though. That's what it does, man. It slams that daggone transmission into reverse without using the clutch. Right?
Yep. Yeah. And if you're not so lucky, you drop the engine right out of the whole thing, and then it's all just garbage.
There you go. Exactly. So look, there's nothing good that comes out of chasing prospects, period. There is nothing. And you say, well, Rob, what is in fact chasing prospects? Look, I always tell you guys, I had to come up with a hard and fast rule. And then you say, well, what does that mean? This is what it means. They already had one strike against them, meaning I was only going to contact them 2 more times. Okay. Why? Because it helped me to create speed and urgency. It helped me to have a definitive close. Okay. And remember, I'm big on scales. I always use that scale of interest. You know, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your level of interest? Why? Because I made notes with all of my prospects so that I had a file. I didn't keep that file forever. Okay. I kept that file for basically 1 year. If I didn't hear from them from a year, then guess what? In my book, it was done and it was over. Okay. Because my job is not to build up a stack of files, you know, from the floor up the ear, 6 foot tall. Okay. I'm not going to fill up my file case with a bunch of dead files. Okay. So the bottom line is I had to establish guidelines for my own business. If I didn't establish them, somebody else was going to establish them for me, meaning the prospects. Okay. They were going to drag it out because they're afraid to say no. This Richard guy basically kept her coming back. I'm not saying he was afraid to say no, but he could have ended that much quicker. He could have said that same thing on the 2nd or 3rd call, right? The bottom line is that I said, look, once I understood the importance of speed and urgency, then I said, okay, I know now what I need to do. And so they had 1 strike against them, meaning I was only going to contact them 2 more times. And that meant the initial meeting, whether, you know, back in those days, it was face-to-face. When I met them that first time, I was going to do 1 follow-up. Now, if they're a fireman, if they're a police officer, if they're a doctor, not that those people are more important than us, but they have crazy schedules, okay? If they're a nurse, same thing, okay? And if they say, yeah, I'm a nurse at so-and-so, then I knew immediately. If they're a plumber and they own their own business, that means that they're pretty much on the 24/7 call, right? People call them all hours of the night. Same thing with electrician, okay? Those people have crazy schedules. The moment I heard that they were in that field, what does that tell me? That the 2 strike rule that I have, I'm going to add another strike and make it actually 3. Why? Because they have a crazy schedule. I'm not going to be inhuman here. Okay. It's my business. I can be flexible. I can change 2 into 3. Okay. And once I find out that that's the case, I say, hey, you know what? I understand completely. Yes, here's blah, 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 blah. I still loved them and left them. I wasn't chasing them just because I added 1 extra follow-up on there. Okay. But for everybody else, I had to have a hard, fast rule in order to create speed and urgency. I could not afford to chase prospects. Plus, Miss Marie, if they do join your business, if you chase them, you call them 6, 7 times, and then you finally wear them down. They finally join. You and I talked about this. The chances of them doing something is slim to none. And if they do a little bit, to be honest with you, Miss Marie, their respect level goes from this down to that. You know, there a lot of people will look at you in a different light because you hounded them, and they're resentful a lot of times, and they will not say that they're resentful, but behind the scenes, at home, whatever, they're kind of upset that you hounded them and you kind of talked them into going into the business out of your persistence, right? Have you not been there?
Oh, absolutely. And these are the people that come into the business. They make the investment to get that initial starter package, whatever it is, with the product. They're joining the business, and then they never pick up the phone again. Yeah. It is the strangest thing. So when that happens to you, you've got to step back and ask yourself, is it because I chased them and I talked them into doing something they really didn't want to do, that they just finally, you know, said, okay, fine, they did it, and now they're not going to respond to you anymore.
Right.
It is the craziest situation, but it happens.
It happens a lot, unfortunately. And that's the reason why we have this subject for today, because we want you guys to understand that this is a real issue. It's every day. I guarantee it's happening right now while we're on the phone somewhere in the world. Somebody is chasing someone down. And it's typically because they don't have enough prospects on their list. We totally get that. We've been there. Okay. Once again, today's world with the social media and with all the online lead generation and being a foot soldier, you have pretty much a three-prong lead generation process that you can put into place. Okay. Back in our day, we had a one prong. That was a foot soldier outside of the people that we knew personally. And that really wasn't a prong because that was a limited list of people. Okay. But we had to work the numbers. And unfortunately, we were not in a situation that you guys are in today, which is awesome. We admire that. We're envious of that. But the bottom line is, guys, you want to make sure that you're not in position to chase people, because I'm telling you, you can deliver the music to the ears message better than I can. You can look like $1 million. You could be following every other step in our training to the T. And if you're chasing prospects, it means absolutely nothing. In other words, you being spot on and perfect on everything. I don't care what you master that we teach. You are going to have limited success because the people that you sign up, as she just stated, they're going to do little to nothing. You may never hear from them again. They may do a little bit for a month. They are in the business because you made them feel either guilty or you wore them down, or because you, how would you say, maybe sold the wrong message. And then once they got in, Miss Marie, they just fall flat off the earth. It's like the earth is flat and they went poof and fell off the end of the earth. They're gone, as you stated. You never hear from them again, never see them. Then you get frustrated. Well, this business doesn't work. This blah, blah, blah. No, it does work. Once again, you're proven right out of the gate that this business is so delicate on what works and what doesn't. That's the reason why we have these podcasts to teach you what works, okay? And chasing prospects. And then Miss Marie, you know, when you say chase, you give this visual to people. You know, the visual in your mind, you're running after somebody. And that's really not what you're doing. You're just being persistent in your calls and follow-ups. Folks, that's chasing. Bottom line, that's what that is.
Yeah, and this is an area where the theory or the method of going for no is fairly flawed. Yeah, you mentioned before, most people have a hard time just flat out saying no. So if your mission in life is to go for no, and you're going to keep following up until you get a no, you're chasing more often than not because people don't want to say no. Or you're going to keep calling and now they're not answering. So clues for sale, that's a no.
Yes. Yeah. And the thing is, guys, keep in mind, if somebody is telling you, if you just joined a network marketing company and they tell you during your training, keep following up until they say no. I've been told that, okay, by some people that I will not mention, okay? And I'm going to tell you that is the wrong thing to do. Okay, I don't care how much success they have. I don't care. I'm telling you, without any hesitation, you'll find out for yourself. You can go ahead and do it. Prove me wrong. If I'm wrong, you let me know. Okay, And it'll work every once in a while. And I'm not backpedaling because look, there's no such thing as 100% guarantee. You will not hear that out of our mouths because we know better. Okay. We've made the mistakes that we're talking about, and they have worked sometimes, but you cannot build a business under that approach. Okay. It will not work. So the bottom line is chasing somebody down until they tell you no is not a good idea. It is not going to happen.
Well, I will go so far as to say that not only is it not a way to build your business, but you're actually damaging the reputation of the industry. You are not helping yourself in any way whatsoever, or the rest of the network marketing world. That's part of the reason that people have this sort of knee-jerk reaction that MLM network marketing is a scam. It's because they feel like they're being sold.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. And you know what, guys? Here's the thing. Less is more in this situation. I'm telling you, less is more. And that's so true in certain parts of our world. The point is that when you love and leave somebody, you're going to leave a better impression, a bigger impression, and a more professional impression. I cannot tell you how many people came back to me months later, like Miss Marie. I don't know if I ever had one that was a year. I might have. But the thing is, they get back to you and say, you know what, I've reconsidered, or, hey, I really like your approach. You were very professional. You were very nice. You were not. And I like working with people like that. Okay. Now, that didn't guarantee that they went out and built a big business. Okay. But they came in with a much more positive mindset, willing to participate, willing to learn because they trusted me. The reason they came back is because they trusted me and I was professional and I did not hound them. And I loved them and left them. I got far more responses out of that, Miss Marie, than I ever did chasing somebody down until they said no. Okay. Because I never heard from those people again. And it's just not something that's going to work for you enough times. In other words, chasing people down that where your business can catch traction. It's just not going to happen. Okay. And just because those people came back to me did not mean that my business exploded and it took off. There were people that did a really nice job in some of those scenarios. But guess what? You don't know that when they come back. You're going there. That's a high quality prospect, pre-qualified, Miss Marie, because see, my one strike rule and doing the 2 follow-ups worked in this scenario in my favor. Okay. Meaning that when they did sign up, guess what, Miss Marie? They were a pre-qualified, high-quality prospect. They knew what I was doing. I told the story correctly. They understood the story. They understood what was at stake. So when they came back, there was no more reselling. I didn't have to rehash anything. They had very few questions. That's a high-quality prospect. Most of those people took action. And they achieved, different levels of success. Some moderate, some kind of on the low end, and some of them did really well. Okay, but the bottom line is I benefited all the way around. Okay, I kept my reputation intact, which was the most important thing because it's a brand. All right. Also, I was able to help them in some way. In other words, they did have certain levels of success. They stopped where they felt comfortable. Okay, they knew I was there for them. So in other words, what I'm doing is I'm not talking about me. This is not about my business. I'm showing you the total positive picture that came out of just being a love them and leave them type guy and not chasing them down. Okay. Look at all the positive that came out of it for all of us, Miss Marie.
Well, absolutely. And when you have that professional attitude and you present the message and you allow it to attract and repel on its own, you're filling your pipeline.
Yes.
You are adding prospects in. Not everybody goes through your pipeline at the same rate. You'll have people that'll hang out there in the pipe for a long time before they come out the other side, right? So you never know. You have to have some patience as well. You have to be willing to do that, love them and leave them. But keep in mind, I mean, the key point to me is that, recognizing not every prospect is the same. Not every prospect has the same value because you're looking for leaders. So it's a sorting process and the leaders are going to be few and far between. So you have to work through the numbers. Yeah. And the other thing to keep in mind is that you cannot say the right thing to the wrong person.
Isn't that the truth?
And vice versa. you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. You know, when the timing's right, you can stumble all over that music to the ears message, and it came out sideways, and you half spoke in tongues, and they sign up. It's like, wow.
I know it. I know it. Isn't that the truth? And that's a great point. I'm glad you brought that up, because it takes me back. There's times I walked away saying, well, I really screwed that one up, man. That sucked, you know? And guess what? They're like, hey, I'm interested. I'm like, are you freaking kidding? You know, to myself, are you freaking kidding me? You know? So yeah, it does work sometimes, just getting out there and stirring the pot, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the thing is, guys, as we bring this to a close, because really we've covered just about everything. When you say Miss Marie, I mean everything that's important, because here's the bottom line. Don't chase people. There's more negative that comes out of chasing people, even if you're successful in signing up. You're only going to get anywhere from 2 to 4 out of 10. Okay. And those 2 to 4, the numbers are not in your favor, because the 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 works no matter what. You got to remember that. Just because you're working small numbers doesn't mean the 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 doesn't work, because you're dealing with human beings. That's the way they are. Okay. And it's going to happen whether you like it or not. You can ignore it and say, Rod's full of crap. That's okay. Say I'm full of crap. But you're going to find out. The point is 1/3 of 4 is going to be 0. Okay. So you may get lucky every once in a while, but you're going to have to go through 40 or 50 people just to get 6 or 7 that might do something or a little bit. Okay. So the numbers are not going to work in your favor if you ignore the basics. And the basic is, do not chase prospects. It does not work. Okay. You have to sell the dream, meaning that you have to have a system that has a message that will resonate with the prospects and show them a clear path to their dream. Okay. And you got to remember, the dream for everybody is either more time, more money, or a better lifestyle. That's what they want. And that does include the cars, the homes, the travel, okay? Because they'll get more specific, okay, in their own minds. But you got to show them, and all of that, the cars, the homes, take money, right? And you have a system. Because as you do a follow-up and they say, well, how does your system work? How does it create money? You can say, look, the system is simple. Our goal is to develop 100 people in an organization that does 100 PV, which creates 10,000 PV. Here's the comp plan, okay? And look at what it can do. And they'll look at the comp plan, because they can be on a computer. You can take them to the comp plan during a follow-up, and you can say that here's the comp plan, or you can send an email with attachment, whatever. I would encourage you to have that readily available when you make your follow-up calls, so that you can send that email to them immediately. Okay. And if you can do a screen share on Zoom, like Miss Marie, like we do, we bring documents up, right? Mm-hmm. You know, it's like right now. Let's see. There we go. See, I could put the comp plan up there. And the thing is, I can say, okay, if we create 10,000 group volume, which I can show you how to do, we have a system that does it all the time. Very simple, 5 simple steps. And they'd say, okay, and here's what you get paid creating 10,000 group volume. And when they see that money, they can relate it to what they want from their life. Okay. They can either see it as a beginning to that dream, or they can see that as, wow, that's what I'm looking for. If I can get to that point, that'll really make a difference in my life. That's the reason why we sell 100 people doing 100 PV. Okay. You have to have a guideline, because they can say, well, you know what? I don't need 10,000 group volume, but what, Rob, what do I get paid if I create 5,000 group volume? Well, here's what you get paid here. Okay. And I show them it's solid, it's concrete, it's a company comp plan. It's not Rob just throwing numbers out. Okay. And that way they can say, oh, okay. Now they're being sold on it, Miss Marie, because I've showed them the 5 simple steps. They get it, blah, blah, blah. Now they see that path. Now and guess what? They're selling themselves on joining this opportunity, because I'm doing what? I'm guiding them down the path, showing them how their dreams can be realized with me and this company. Okay, so that's it in a nutshell, right, Miss Marie?
Absolutely. It's the guiding them down the path, not chasing them down the street.
There you go. I like that. Boy, that's awesome. That's awesome. What a great way to close the show. Right, guys. We have given you a great deal of information that you will not find anyplace else. We're going to close this show out We're right on schedule at 44 minutes. If you will, please like, share, and comment on our various social media platforms. We appreciate it if you do. And if you go to our YouTube channel, we ask that you register there or subscribe. You just hit the subscribe button, as you know. And also you can hit the little bell twice so that you can get notifications when we go live, as well as when we upload new content. That being said, please give us a thumbs up when you visit our social media or during a live show. It lets us know immediately that we're providing valuable content that you appreciate and know that you can use. Additionally, as you know, you can find us on the various social media platforms by utilizing hashtag the MLM Solution. That's hashtag the MLM Solution. And you can visit our website, themlmsolution.net, to get additional great information about the network marketing industry. That being said, Miss Marie, I think we're done. Oh, tomorrow's topic, social media and network marketing.
Ooh, see, I told you I was excited about this week.
That's great. That's tomorrow's topic, which is going to be Tuesday, the 27th at 11 a.m. Join us tomorrow at 11 a.m. to learn about how social media and network marketing can work together and also work for you or against you. And once again, you're going to learn information you will not learn anywhere else. All right, everybody, 45 minutes on. We're going to see you tomorrow. Have a great day. God bless. We'll see you soon.
Thank you for listening to the MLM Solution Podcast. For more info, visit our website, themlmsolution.net. Please follow us on the following platforms: Facebook, YouTube, etc. And share this podcast with our fellow network marketers around the world by hitting the share button on our various platforms.